Welcome back to the Wednesday Night War, where me and Primetime discuss who won for the week, NXT or AEW Dynamite. So we are coming from February 12th, 2020. With this is the go home show. The NXT take over Portland. So we got some obviously a nice little go home show going there, and then we got the debut of Jeff Cobb in AEW. So we're going to go.
Boy.
What'd you say?
Big boy.
Exactly. So we're gonna go over both shows. To start off with NXT. So NXT, I like NXT, and then NXT starts off with Roderick Strong is coming out there. He's pissed because you know what?
Of course he is.
You know what's funny? I thought the pants last week when you was telling me it was Roderick Strong, his wife, and Velveteen Dream. I was like, that didn't make sense. But then we told me it was his son.
Yeah.
His son on there with Marina called me up. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, I get all he does. So he called a Dream out. He wants Dream, but then Bronson Reed comes out and starts fighting on Strong because they beat up Bronson Reed last week when us there was going their rampage. So we get a Roderick.
Did they really though? It was like a knee to the face. He was out.
He was down. So we get Roderick Strong taking on Bronson Reed in a very decent matchup. Bronson Reed gets time to show his ability and everything, and I'm liking it. He reminds me of the better Bull Dempsey.
Oh, okay. That's a name for you.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah. He reminds me of like a better Bull Dempsey to me because Bull Dempsey was like, all right. Yeah, but Bullfit was drawing. Bullfit was drawing. I remember Bullfit. So Roderick Strong picks up throughout the match. The purple ambiance comes down, distracts Roderick Strong. He thinks Dream was coming out, but then
I just gotta say real quick though, I like that to be his lights out noise, like his gong or his like the Sting had the crow.
Yeah.
He just had the ow. The lights go.
That would be great. That would be great. But that's Bronson Reed hits the Suicida. And then
I think like the last half of the match, like the lighting was like purple, right?
No. It went back to being regular.
Okay.
It went back to being regular. But Roderick Strong picks up the win on Bronson Reed, and then Velveteen Dream comes up on the Titantron, and he says, if anything happens to you, Roderick, just know that Marina, your kid, will be all right. And everybody's like, ooh, and you see the Tyson again. And you know what's funny? Velveteen Dream is obviously the face in the situation, but that's some heel shit to do.
Well, he don't get his get back. He said, because obviously we didn't see this. We didn't see them actually do it. We seen the aftermath, quote unquote. But he said they threw him off of a scaffold.
Yeah, I missed that.
He said, y'all tried to throw me off of the scaffold. Y'all tried to break the Dream's back, ruin his career. But so I guess they threw him off a scaffold.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed that, Pinky. So should we talk about these all together or when they popped up? Because this is one of the most irritating things.
I want to talk about it all together.
You said what?
All together.
Oh, okay.
Let's do it.
So here we go. So take over Portland. We have the Broserweights trying to find a way to take over Portland, and
AKA Jay and Silent Bob.
Bro, that's exactly what it is. What's up? Pete Dunne is talking. And so the first thing is he says, all right, well, we're going to drive. It's going to be the three of us, bro. So Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne are driving. And then as Matt Riddle's driving throughout the day, they switch over so he can drive during the night. And Pete Dunne is swerving past all these cars. And he's like, whoa, bro. He said, I forgot what he said. He said, like, I don't know how you drive in London. He said, I'm not even from London. And then the cops pull him over, and then he says, all right, man, look, all you gotta do is be cool, have this. And next thing you know, you see the car getting towed. And I'm like,
I like how they did it, though, because he was like, Matt Riddle was like, "Let me do all the talking." The next scene is them getting told.
Exactly.
I like how they didn't show the confrontation. They just showed them getting told.
Exactly. I was like, yeah, because Matt Rose has some off the wall shit. Like, hey, bro. So then they are in this swan duck in the little paddleboard things, and then he said, "Are we gonna really get to Portland through a swan duck?" And he says, "No, bro." He says, "We're gonna take this to where?" I forgot what he said.
And he said this is where he comes and do his best thinking.
Yeah. So they're on the paddle boat. After the
by the way, I don't know if you see, I'm subscribed to WWE on YouTube. So like the YouTube, every time they put up the video on the YouTube, it's like a different slogan. Like the first one was like Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne's car trip goes up in smoke. And then the second one was Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne are on the high seas or something. It's always something to do with like smoking or getting high or something. I think the third one, well, we'll talk about the third one. You know, they get high. Something like that. They get high up or something.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Well, the third one just says that the Broserweights sneak on Triple H's plane.
Okay, that's all it says. Okay,
that's all it says. Unfortunately, so what they do is he says, "Look, you know," he says, "I got us a chartered plane." So he stuffs the trophy up there. He says, "All right, look, you know, you pull and I'll push." And they put him in there. Then he sees Triple H coming. He pushes Pete Dunne in the carriage space, and then he goes runs up there, hides in there. Then you see Triple H go in there, and it's his private plane, and they're flying off. He's like, "We're going to Portland, bro."
That is so funny.
This shit out of nowhere became hilarious.
I think it's more hilarious because it's something not in the ring, and it's something not just backstage.
I agree.
I like more. I mean, the in-ring segments are cool, but it's like when you just have straight up only in-ring segments. When you have something finally not in the ring or not at the actual place, it's
great. Yeah, especially when they got good chemistry, and that's what I was saying, because that's one thing NXT does need more of. They need more of that outside the arena type promos and stuff and like, segments.
I'll be honest though. Like, say if Riddick Moss was to bring the 24/7 championship to NXT, you know how like much fun segments they'll have, better than the ones that Raw tried to do or SmackDown.
I agree. But before we fantasy book, Mark Henry gives us a nice trailer on Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic, which I thought was bad. That is how you hype something up.
Especially for Mark Henry saying that.
Exactly. That's how you hype something up. I'm talking about explaining how the big men doing this, and then we got these two big men doing that. And then now this match is going to be like, now I'm looking forward to it. It only took 2 minutes. It's all it took. It was 2 minutes to build this thing up, to get people ready for it and for the championship, because these big men be doing something they're not even supposed to be doing.
Especially Keith Lee, though.
Yeah. But I don't think people truly understand that Dominic Dijakovic is like 6'8".
Yeah,
that's LeBron size type shit, you know. And he's out here doing, you know, backflip moonsaults over the top rope. Like, bro, if you stretch all your limbs out, you hitting the front row because you're so damn tall. So yeah, and like, you know, Keith Lee, even though he big, he like what, 6'4". He tall too.
Yeah, so. He kind of like Keith Lee don't really get the, like, cause he's big, but he's like, people don't really see him as being tall because of his, like, I guess because of his weight.
Yeah.
Cause like, you know, Dominic and Dijakovic and like Damien Priest are tall and like kind of like almost skinny or built or slinky, if you want to say. So people say, oh, they tall, but if you see somebody like Keith Lee, you might not think that he's like 6'4" or 6'5", you know.
Exactly. But it should be a good matchup. Then after we get to, you know, the Mark Henry thing, we go on to our next matchup, which is Dakota Kai taking on Candice LeRae. The match was alright for what it was. I'm really hoping that the street fight will be better. Candice LeRae has her in the Gargano escape, and she rolls her up and pins her. Tegan Nox comes out. after the match, after Dakota Kai starts beating down Candice LeRae with the bell, starts beating down Dakota Kai some more, and that's basically what the segment was. I'm hoping that they give it all in their matchup at TakeOver.
I feel like somehow Candice is going to have something to do with this. I don't know why.
I don't think so, because I'm going to hold the interference for actually later on, believe it or not. Next matchup, Johnny Gargano taking on Cameron Grimes, your boy, Cameron Grimes.
I don't got him no more on my thing, so I'm good.
But you know what? This was actually a damn good matchup.
Oh, yeah.
This is a really damn hard-hit matchup to the point where I thought Cameron Grimes may steal this one, but he didn't. And Gargano does beat Grimes in the end. And if you watch the WWE on YouTube, you see he had Cameron Grimes' head. He was like giving it elbow drops and everything in the ring. So, Cameron Grimes is all sensitive about his head. So, I felt as though that was good.
The only way I would have seen Cameron Grimes winning this is if Finn Balor would have came out.
Exactly.
So, if he ain't come out, then he was taking the L.
Exactly. Next up, we have a Cruiserweight Championship opportunity with Angel Garza. I don't know why he's not with Selena Vega on NXT, but only on with Raw.
Because she don't want to fly, I guess, to Orlando. I don't know.
Leo Rush already said that this is the guy that should be for the Cruiserweight Championship. This is not the same Leo Rush. So he makes that known, and they have once again an awesome matchup by Leo Rush and Angel Garza. And there was a time where I thought Angel Garza was going to win, but then Leo Rush does fight back, hard-hitting matchup, and then Leo Rush does pick up the win to go take on Devlin. What's his name?
Jordan Devlin.
Jordan Devlin. Actually, Jordan Devlin comes out and stares him down at the end of the match. What you going to say?
I was going to say, I feel like that may be them maybe writing off Garza on NXT for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And him just losing the match and him being on Raw until Andrade gets back, I assume.
Gotcha. That does make sense. Bianca Belair versus Santana Garrett, if you want to call this a match, a.k.a. Wonder Woman. She basically just beats her down, handspring moonsaults, throws her into the corner, and then gives her the KOD, and that's it. And then she says, Rhea, she look about me like, am I not here? Am I invisible? Then Rhea comes out and says, you know what? I'm looking right at you, and then on Sunday, I'm going to go right through you. So then she starts beating her up, and then Bianca gives her KOD.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking strong there. Now, I'm telling you, peep this. Now, we're going to, obviously, we did our predictions for the podcast, because you guys are hearing this part, going to hear that part on the podcast. But I'm just saying, look, I'm telling you, this match is not going all the way.
Well, obviously, right?
No. When have you ever seen a TakeOver with 6 matches?
Whew. How many matches? 6 matches booked?
It's 6.
Is it?
Dakota Kai taking on. Now, by the way, I know you guys listen to the podcast. Y'all like we just talked about this. When we're recording this, we record the Wednesday Night War right after the shows go off. Okay, so we did not do what you're hearing this part. We did not do our section of the podcast just yet, but we put it all together. So that's what I'm saying. But yes, the 6 matches are Dakota Kai street fight with Tegan Knox. That's 1. North American Championship Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic. Tag Team Championships, the Broserweights versus Undisputed Era. Then you have Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. Giant Gargano versus Finn Balor.
Oh, yeah.
And Ciampa versus Adam Cole. When have you ever had 6 matches?
Yeah, one of them.
It's always 5. Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley is not going the full thing. Charlotte's breaking that shit up. I'm telling you. But
she might have to break it up early unless Charlotte still breaks that matchup and then Dakota and Tegan go to like a no contest type, like they don't even start. They brawl. I don't know.
I'm probably, they need to have that match. That's what I'm saying. Bianca Belair, they can say that for WrestleMania. Adam Cole has a match with Kushida in our main event, and decent matchup. with Kushida, but I knew Kushida wasn't gonna win this match. Period. When Adam Cole hits the last shot on it for the win, Tommaso Ciampa comes out and drops Adam Cole. Afterwards, and that's actually after the show goes off because they had him something to stare down. And, oh my God, what was that overacting that they said? He said, I forgot what they said when they were staring each other down. But on W.com afterwards, Ciampa does attack Adam Cole afterwards. So,
and then they said he had Goldie. He picked up Goldie like hugged him.
Oh yeah, Goldie's coming home. Yeah, and I think Adam Cole said over my dead body. So something like that. So that was NXT this week. Now we're gonna jump over to AEW Dynamite. I don't know why I say that every week, but it's funny. AEW Dynamite. So we start off with how
What's your favorite thing?
AEW once again never lets me down. You start off with a tag team match, player. For the tag team championships, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page taking on SCU. However, there was not that much rift between Omega and Hangman Page in this matchup.
Before we start, did you see the nameplate, or you didn't really pay attention to it?
Okay, first off, that was disrespectful.
What?
They said Kenny Omega days sober, like all the years of his life. Whoever add that up, and then Adam Page days sober 0.
That is hilarious.
I was like, oh shit, wow.
That is hilarious.
They did that. Once again, they had a pretty good match. I love the fling German suplex, and then once again, I know it's not a move that everybody likes, but for some reason I am liking that buckshot V-trigger combo that they be doing. I know everybody
it's still not for me. I don't know what it is. It's like it looks okay, but it's like I guess the setup for it is the way gets me.
Then it go for 3. It looks like Kazarian's going to grab the rope, but he doesn't. So, all right. And then after the matchup, brawl breaks out because we have the Dark Order, we have the Best Friends with Orange Cassidy, we have the Butcher the Blade, and the Young Bucks come out because they're all getting ready for their tag team battle royal, which we'll probably start off the show next week to see who's going to be taking on the champs at Revolution.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to start the show.
Where was my boys' private party at, though?
I don't even think they're in the match.
How they got a tag team battle royal and don't have one of the best tag teams in AEW in the match?
I mean, I don't know, because I don't know how they tag team thing is supposed to be. I thought it was only supposed to be like 4 teams, but then they just said, hey, we're going to do all the teams. But then Private Party wasn't there. So I don't even know if they're in the match or not. I don't know.
Okay, well, Jim Ross has a sit-down interview with Santana, which is a fucking good interview.
I'm surprised Jim Ross. Well, yeah.
Okay, give Jim Ross credit when it comes to interviews. Maybe on commentary he be getting shit wrong, but I mean on the interviews, pre-taped he can do that. Santana talks about his dad going blind at 14, and looks like to be in the dark, and it was kind of very face-ish, and then it went to heelish about Moxie's going to learn because tonight they're having a match that's promoted eye for an eye.
Yeah, but you can't get him that much sympathy though. It's like
no, you can't, but it was still good.
He was like, oh, my dad went blind, so I'm not gonna lose my eye because he lost his eyesight. It's like that's kind of like a very face promo,
Yeah, it was. I mean, like you know what? Santana shows he's the better one out of both of them.
Oh yeah, we all knew that.
So
even though they don't really tell you that, but yeah, at least most people knew that. I'll say that.
There's a segment with Darby Allin in a series of signs of Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, the ones that he uses during commercial break.
Yeah. But then we have a Sammy Guevara matchup with Dustin Rhodes taking on Sammy Guevara. Boy, does Dustin Rhodes look good.
He looks good, but I didn't understand the heat behind this match when they literally just had this match.
Well, because they want to illustrate the whole thing between him and Jake Hager.
Because literally when they the show I went to, they had Sammy Gavar versus Dustin Rhodes, and Jake Hager came out in the middle of the match and interrupted the match. And then this match, I think the same thing happened. So I didn't understand why they did it 2 times, but I guess they this time they wanted to actually do the Hager thing. Last time he just called him out. This time they actually going to do it. So I guess that's the difference.
Okay, well yeah, I didn't even have a match for Revolution, but he hits the Panama Sunrise and then Canadian Destroyer, whatever you want to call it, and then hits the curtain call or whatever he calls it in AEW.
I think he calls it the Crossroads.
I don't know. Final Reckoning. Final Reckoning is what he calls it.
I thought he called it a cross. I could have sworn, unless that was just a missed call.
I'm about to say Crossroads is what Cody calls his move, don't he?
I know what I'm saying. Since his name is Rose too, I thought, hey, both our finishes is the Crossroads. Because when they fought, he did his move and they called it Crossroads. So I thought that's what the name was.
No, it's the Final Record because it's just the curtain call from when he was in WWE.
Yeah,
Tony Schiavone interviews Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and she says that she had to take out Yoka's teeth because it was decaying. And,
well, we'll talk about this later, but yeah, Britt, I don't know if I don't know. Britt Baker as a heel, of course, she can work, but they need to use more than just Britt every week.
I do agree. I think her heel promos have been getting better week to week. She definitely did made all the crowd having chubby Whataburger faces. And I was just like, oh, you don't want to do that down there.
Especially a wrestler name was Rena Gonzalez. Definitely wouldn't take heed to that because her favorite is Whataburger.
Next up we have for the AEW Women's Championship, Nyla Rose taking on Rhea. The match that should have happened at the debut of Dynamite. But they got scared.
Yeah.
They got scared. And
I don't understand what they are doing with the women's division, especially with Riho. It's
look,
they don't book her good at all.
They don't. But here's the thing. Riho is a decent worker. Don't get me wrong. She's small as hell. So none of her offense is believable. If you look at, because you can sit there and make the same argument about Kairi Sane or Asuka, but first of all, Asuka a little bit thicker, okay? And even so is Kairi Sane, but still, the match that they have, the offense that they have is believable for what they do. Rio, on the other hand, it's just like the girl soaking wet is about 70 pounds.
Yeah, well, especially in her promotion and stuff, all the women are her size, so that's very believable. But then you got Nyla Rose, you got Britt Baker, who's very tall compared to her. You got Big Swole, who is very bigger than her.
Yeah.
So Riho's offense when she's fighting Nyla Rose and all them does not look believable. I can understand that, but they still haven't even booked her good to this point.
Nope. And this is why it needed to happen. That this match, it was sloppy at some points, but then they did try to get a lot of near falls out there. I was like, don't have Nyla Rose lose this twice. Don't have her lose this twice. But Nyla Rose does hit the sit down powerbomb, and she pins, and she is now the new women's champion. People are going to talk shit. It doesn't matter. But this is what they should have did at the beginning of AEW last year. This is what they should have did, but they didn't. So, but now I think they done the right move. I'm sorry, Rio, but it's time to move on. And then Nyla Rose is the champion. So now I want to see what they do with Nyla Rose.
I say either Hikaru Shida gets a shot, or maybe Big Swole.
Yeah, maybe Big Swole, maybe.
Because they need a face, and they're the only two faces I can think of right now.
Okay.
Or Chris Stat. We'll see.
So Chris Jericho is backstage with the Inner Circle talking about, how Moxley stole his car. He had to travel the world to find somebody to take out Moxley on behalf of the Inner Circle. And it is Jeff Cobb.
Big boy.
And Jeff Cobb got a nice video package showing who he is, because let's be real, AEW has sucked when it came to debuts.
Yeah, they do, and they suck on people that's like already huge everywhere else, but that casual fan doesn't know who they are, or people that's coming back to wrestling don't know who they are.
Exactly.
I can understand if this was like somebody that they didn't have, somebody that they, nobody knows. They don't even do that for, but then Jeff Cobb they do it for. So I like that they do it for people that they know that should be good here.
Exactly, and I was like, that's better, because when the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny came, everybody with the crowd was like, who? Or
yeah, because when Butcher and the Blade are not named at all. Braxton Sutter, he was in Impact, but they're not really names. Luther. Who is that?
Exactly. And he's gone now.
Who else? Who else debuted? The Dark Order, when they first came, nobody knew who they were. So
Awesome Kong came back, and everybody was like, "Oh wait, she's here."
Yeah, but they popped for Awesome Kong. Though.
Yeah.
Like, Awesome Kong is actually a name that you would know. Like if you see her, you would know her. But them other people that they had debut, don't nobody know who they are. They try to get them over. It's like, no, you gotta at least show us why they are important. Lisa, do something,
You're right. So, next up we have MJF taking on Jungle Boy, which he makes the referee clean different parts of the ring.
Yeah.
Then we have Brandy Rose on commentary, no longer possessed by the dark whatever crap she used, the Nightmare Collective.
Yeah, they're completely done with the Nightmare Collective.
They got okay. So what would you say?
Now I was about to say this is a Jim Ross galore.
Oh Lord.
On commentary.
Oh yeah. Because the way he was just what was it? Was it this match or was it the next match with Moxley? No, it was this match because Brady was on there, and MJF was holding his crotch towards her, and he was just like, "Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!" The Jim Ross alarm clock, man. I need that.
Yeah, man. Jim Ross. Whatever, man. They gonna do what they do anyway. But Jim Ross I don't think needs to be on commentary anymore. I didn't want him on commentary to begin with, but I guess back then people was like, "Oh, you're such a hater." I'm like, no. I watched New Japan. He signed to New Japan. His commentary is awful on New Japan. Now people are like, "Oh, I understand what you're saying." He does. He does. He has gotten older. He's kind of not in his realm anymore.
Yeah, and he also got that old man don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? He don't. So MJF uses the diamond ring to knock out Jungle Boy, then hits him with the double cross, wins the matchup. Next week's episode will be Cody versus Warlord in a steel cage match. Omega and Page defend the tag championships against the Lucha Bros. A number one contenders tag team battle royale, and John Mox versus Jeff Cobb. Very jam-packed episode next week, so I can't wait to actually see that one.
I'm glad because they have it in the State Farm Arena in Atlanta. That's like where Hawks played.
Ooh, yeah.
That's kind of like a big show for them rather than those kind of small arenas. They got a big arena.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming because he's been advertising. I'm assuming like their guest of honor or whatever is going to be Dominique Wilkins.
Like the human highlight film Dominique Wilkins?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He's very intrigued on what they're doing, so he liking what they're doing.
Ooh, okay, Dominique. And also, in 2 weeks, it's going to be because the Bastard Pack debuted a video package in black and white, him working out and everything. Because it's going to be a 30-minute Iron Man match between him and Kenny Omega in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah,
that should be good too.
That is going to be down to the wire. I can tell you, it might be like a tie. They might need overtime. I'll tell you that.
Oh boy, I'm telling you. So it's going to be 35 minutes. I'm telling you that's going to have to main event the show. Let's see, because you got to start off with that tag team match.
I'm gonna assume that's going to be the main event. Or Cody. I think Cody and Wardlow going main event. Just because it's the main story.
No, Cody and Wardlow's next week. The Iron Man is in 2
weeks.
Oh,
so yeah, okay, yeah. Then of course that's going to be main event.
Yeah, my bad. But yeah, the Steel Cage is going to main event because it's going to be the first ever Steel Cage. So we got Jon Moxley taking on Santana. Eye for an eye.
At first, they both look the same because they both got like pants on.
Exactly.
They both got like the eye patch and the thing. I was like, oh, these the same people as them?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So the match was pretty good. It actually, I thought the Santana match with Moxley was better than the one with Ortiz the week prior.
Mm-hmm.
Moxley wins with the paradigm shift. After the match, the Inner Circle come in, beat him up, and Jeff Cobb comes down because he was supposed to debut next week, but Jericho said, baby, bring him down now. So everybody was popping for like Jeff Cobb because they seen that package video, and then they're like, okay, and Jeff Cobb comes in there and beats down Moxley, and the whole Inner Circle stands over a fallen Moxley. So that was a good way to end the show this week. So in your personal,
that might be his first loss. I'll be honest with you.
You're right. So my prime time, who wins this week for you?
I say AEW.
You damn skippy. AEW Dynamite wins this week because after they debuted Jeff Cobb, I said you can't go anywhere but up. I mean, NXT was good. Look, the Broserweight stuff was great. The Broserweight stuff was great. The Bianca stuff was great.
When they debuted Jeff Cobb.
Exactly, but then they debuted Jeff Cobb.
Why you ain't give him a thumbs up when they debuted Luther?
No, thank you. Because and even JR even finally put him over to him. He's like Dr. Death Steve Williams.
I think he looks. Since he got the hair, he looks more like a killer. Like he looks like Rhino. Like he can put his hair over his face and like hide his eyes. I don't know why that adds something to it, but it does.
It does. Man, look, hair sometimes adds to a lot of things, and sometimes when they cut it off, it just looks as don't look right. So there you guys have it. So make sure you guys stay tuned for next week's. I can't wait to talk about AEW next week also. And it actually got a strong show next week also. That's going to be the TakeOver Portland Fallout also. So we're really going to have a loaded Wednesday Night War. But now let's get back to the podcast.